Hello and welcome to the Field Engineer channel. If you're new here, my name is Guy, and on this channel we discuss topics of interest to field engineers and field managers. I have with me today Arturo González. Arturo joined the field engineer community in February 2023. He is originally from Panama, and he is now living and working in Spain as a ballast water treatment service engineer on naval vessels. He's a mechanical engineer and holds a master's degree in project and business management. Welcome, Arturo. I'm happy to have you with me today.
Thank you, Guy, for inviting me to this interview. I'm very happy to be here.
Great. So let's get started then. Tell us a bit about yourself, Arturo, and your studies, your career, your life.
Since I was a kid, I've always been passionate about everything regarding the mechanical and electrical side of how things work. So my curiosity started growing as I was getting older. So I decided to study mechanical engineer. I graduated from the Technical University of Panama, and then later finished a master degree in project management. Regarding my professional career, I started working in a dealership in Panama, a well-known dealership called Ricardo Perez. There I started working as a process officer and then ended up as a product quality officer. Then looking for a more field-oriented job and for new challenges, I found Alfa Laval, a great company, to hire me as an international field service engineer, specialized in Pureballast. So I started this position in Panama, and then I moved to Spain and continued developing as a field service engineer here in Spain.
Excellent. And how long have you been in Spain?
So far, 3 years. So 3 years.
3 years. That's a big change. How was your arrival in Spain and how you helped yourself integrate into the society, the culture, and the day-to-day in Spain?
Yeah, well, moving to Spain was challenging and exciting at the same time. When the opportunity was presented, I discussed it with my wife, and we knew this was the right choice career-wise. So it has been a learning path and adapting to the culture and traditions. But currently, we love Spain. We love the food, the people, and well, we are always grateful for the amazing community we have met here in this country.
Great. I guess language is not a problem, right?
No, no, no. We speak Spanish and English in Panama, so it's yeah, it's
Okay.
very yeah.
And you are a mechanical engineer, and you mentioned that your start was, did you say dealership?
Yeah, it is an automotive dealership.
Uh-huh.
So in this dealership, I was more focused in the automotive industry, but in this job, I was more into an office job. I was doing reporting to the main factory of the dealership. But then I wanted something more field oriented, more in the field.
Mhm.
So that's when I decided to move and go to Alfa Laval.
So you were in the field of cars, vehicles, and now you work on vessels.
Yeah.
Uh, Tell us a little bit about that. I mean, I'm a biomedical engineer, so vessels to me are a different world, and I'm curious to learn from you about your world and how is work on vessels.
Yeah, so it's definitely different from working in the automotive and in the marine field because of course you're not no longer in an office now, you're in the field working and everything is constantly changing. The schedule can change time to time. Sometimes you have 3 hours or sometimes you have days to finish a job. So the job is constantly changing. And in these type of jobs, you need to have a plan. You need to be well prepared before going into the job because you have a limit time to finish a job. So if you go on board without a plan, then of course, even when this is a dynamic type of job, like everything is changing over the time, if you don't have a proper plan when you go on board, it's very tough or very difficult to complete the job. And yes, moving from the automotive to the marine field, yes, it was a big change because uh, before it was just about cars, and now you have a completely different type of system, which is a ballast water treatment system. And of course, it requires a completely different mindset. Now you work with PLCs, now you work with sensors, different type of sensors that maybe in the automotive industry you will never see. And of course, electricity is a main or a key point here when you move from the automotive to the marine field, of course.
And working in the marine field, are you uh, like at sea sometimes, or you are at port working?
It depends on the type of job. If it is a job that only takes a day, it's possible to be done in the terminal, so you can do it within 8 hours or 12 hours. But in some cases, yes, it's possible that you need to sail with the vessel for a few days. If it's that's the case, so yeah, it can be any of the two depending on the type of the job. I mean, if it's just a maintenance, maybe one day. If it's a commissioning, it could be maybe 2 3 days on board. Of course, yeah.
And this is where the kind of time-sensitive repairs happen, because if you are on the vessel at port and the vessel needs to leave in a day, you have a day max to finish the job.
Yes, that is correct. And well, also because this is a sensitive system on board, sometimes it can even, the vessel needs to comply with this regulation. So it is also, the time is always ticking. You need to finish the job as soon as you can because, of course, it can, if you don't finish, let's say, a maintenance or a repair, also the vessel cannot leave the terminal. So it's,
A lot
time
of
is
pressure
ticking.
on you.
Yes, 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 yes. Well, I mean, I've been doing this maybe 5 years so far, and with a good plan and always being prepared and the proper skills, it's possible. It's possible for sure.
I agree. In any field, for the field engineers, you have to be prepared. You have to approach your visits and your work in a very pragmatic way. You have to have planned in advance and all that. So that can take you away from home for a few days if you are on board of a vessel.
Yes, 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 yes. When you're on board, sometimes it can take you 2 3 days, 4 days, depending on the job. But yes, as you mentioned, having a good plan, it's what actually helps you to finish the job successfully. I mean, it's possible that you receive one type of job, the job code says something, and once you get on board, maybe it's different. But as long as you have a plan on how to do it step by step, of course, it will help you once you are on board to finish the job properly.
Right. And what is your region of responsibility? Is it the whole country or more than Spain, outside Spain also?
Yeah, my main area it's Spain and Portugal, but it is possible to be any country around Europe and also part of Africa as well.
Okay.
Yeah,
I imagine this is because sometimes you have to fill in for someone who's not available. People go on
exactly,
vacation.
exactly. Yes,
So you
yes.
so you are away from home not only at sea and in from Spain, but also in other countries.
Yes, that is correct. Depending on where is the job and maybe if there is a colleague that it's currently not working, then of course then you need to support around that area and also go on board. So yes, sometimes you can be far from home for a few days. Yes, that's right.
And I imagine your superior is not necessarily at the same location as you. He might be somewhere else in Europe, and you report to him remotely and you look for support remotely also. How does that work?
Yeah, you're right. That's correct. Actually, my manager is in Breda. It's in the Netherlands. So yes, we have to report the central once we finish the job. We have to deliver a proper service report so we can explain what happened on board, what we actually found. But yes, working with a manager far from your country, it's challenging, but not impossible. I mean. I've been doing this for a couple of years and it's very easy the communication, to be honest. Even when we are far, it's very easy to communicate, very easy to find. Nowadays it's very easy to communicate through Teams or email. So It's very very easy, to be honest.
Okay. Other than what we mentioned earlier, what is your biggest challenge that is always in the back of my mind that you have to overcome sometimes?
Um, I think the main thing you need to overcome usually it's time. When you go on board, sometimes you can go on board thinking that you will have a complete day, but then you arrive and you find that the vessel needs to leave in 3 hours. So yeah, the main issue is time. Sometimes you get on board and you need to find out what's the root cause of some conditions, and yes, time it's the main condition. But the main purpose of the main idea is to follow the steps. I mean, if you follow the steps of the preparation you did the day before, it's more easy. This is one of the things that maybe our colleagues sometimes don't take into consideration. But when you have a good plan, it's very easy when you go on board to proceed with the job, you know?
And you have done it for so many years, so it becomes second nature for you. You know exactly how to get ready and what you need with you before you go on site.
Yes, yes, that's correct. I mean, experience helps you a lot when it is there is a job, depending on the type of job. Of course, you can prepare properly, knowing what is the proper. I mean, depending if it's a maintenance, of course, we normally do it every day maintenance. But if there is a troubleshooting, we can know like, okay, if they're having this condition, very likely is related to this. So let's check this first, then second this, then third this, and let's see how it goes step by step.
And I imagine your employer makes sure that you are properly trained on any new kind of equipment.
Yes, 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 yes. That's one of the things that I really appreciate from this company. You know, they're always giving you tools to study, and they're always asking you about your career. What are your expectations? What would you like to do? And they're always giving you support to properly learn and learn of not only your system but also new systems. Let's say in my case. I already finished it, a high-speed separator training and a fuel control module training, so I will be soon delivering services also for these systems. So my company is always here to help. I mean, if you want to learn something, you can always contact your manager and ask him, hey, you see, this system I would like to start learning. And of course, they will always be giving you tools to do the job properly. So from that side, I'm 100% happy with Alfa Laval, to be honest.
Great. And this is necessary if you were to complete your job properly. You need to always be up to date on the equipment and technical training and any novelty you need to learn to be up to date all the time. You see, my career has always been in the medical devices, and the naval field is completely, uh, like a black box for me. I understand that sometimes you have to be on the vessel and the vessel is in motion. You go with it. So it's a way, it's a different lifestyle, it's a different way of living. You have to be on the vessel for 3, 4 days. You are not at a luxury hotel being
Mhm.
served, in a fancy restaurant or anything like this. Tell us a little bit about that lifestyle. Give us an idea if we were with you. How is your day to day?
Yeah, so a day to day normally starts first. I'm at home checking the schedule, checking an emails, and then a job is received. Once I receive the job, then I start preparing for this job, depending on the type of job. I download all the data needed for this job. Then once the day comes, then you go on board. You have a meeting with the crew first. You make sure that the job scope is clear. Then we discuss about their expectations, and of course, very important, we have a safety plan. It's always important to have this safety plan just in case if something happens. Then we proceed with the service, and of course, depending of the type of job, it can be one day in a terminal, or it could be, as you mentioned, 3 days or 4 days on board, depending on the type of job. And then once you finish, you do a service report that it's delivered to the customer, and then of course also to our central in Alfa Laval to have a history about what we did. But yes, I mean, working on board instead of working land based, of course, it's different. You can get sick, of course, if it's the first time you're doing it, and also you're constantly moving while trying to do some troubleshooting or maybe to do some repairs. I mean, it's yeah, it's not easy, but you get used to it. I mean, after a couple of years, you get used to it. Also, of course, the food it's different. Normally, you eat on board, so you eat basically same like the crew. You have to eat what they got on board. So yes, it's a tough it's tough, but to be honest, for me, I love it. I really like my type of job. I know it's not common, I know, but it's really nice, at the end of the day, knowing that you finish the maintenance or the repair or the commissioning. It's grateful, At the end of the day, you feel like, okay, I did this, we did this, because at the end, it's a team job. So it's. I mean, for me, after 5 years, I can say now I'm more used to it, and for me, it's perfect.
Great, great. I have a question. I'm curious. Does it ever happen that you plan a visit at the port, the vessel is stationary, and then you are not able to complete the repair on time or maintenance, and they tell you we have to go. You go with the boat, it was not planned, you're away 2, 3 days, and then you come back. Does this ever happen also?
It's not common, but yes, it can happen. So that's why when I get on board, even when it is in a terminal, I always got my passport and my ID with me because you never know. So let's say I always have my passport with me, even when it is in a terminal here next home. But I still got my passport because you never know, it can happen and you need to be prepared. Of course, yes, it can happen.
Interesting, interesting. Wow. What about safety on board? Do you have to wear special clothing, special gear when you enter the vessel?
Of course, yes. When you work in a container ship or and most of the vessels, you need to have an overall, of course. But depending on the type of ship, if it's gas or if it's depending on the type of vessel, you can be using also EX or here in Europe they call it ATEX. But the cloth can be different just to make sure that there is no static or electricity when you're working on these type of ships. So yes, it can change from vessel to vessel. And also, of course, you need to have also ear protections. You need to have helmets because when you're working the engine room, of course, it's a little bit different, like working in land base.
Yeah. Yeah. And I guess that requires also some kind of training before you start working in that field.
Yes, 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 yes. Here it's mandatory before starting or doing your first job to have the proper training because your working area it's a little bit different. Not only you are responsible for the job you're doing, but you also need to be aware about your surroundings because maybe you're doing a job, you're working on your system, but maybe there is someone from the vessel working on other equipments around you. So you always have to be careful, stop, think, and then act. If you see something, say something, and try always to be safe. The main thing of this is to go back home. You have a family waiting for you, so you always need to be careful with it. Yes.
Yeah. Field engineering is not an easy job, and even more in your field, in the marine, it requires 100% attention all the time, as you just mentioned.
Yes, that is correct. That is correct.
This is all interesting. I'm learning from you today, and we are coming to the end of our talk today. I want to ask you, is there anything else that you would like to share with our audience about your field of work?
Yeah, I mean, I know it's maybe some of my colleagues will be thinking, yes, it's a tough job, yes, but to be honest, in my case, I love it. It's mostly what you like. I encourage the people to follow your dreams, keep studying, and work hard and be consistent. Sometimes it can be difficult, but at the end of the day, it pays off. So always stay focused, and with a good plan, you will reach any of your goals that you have. And I mean, I'll invite all the engineers who are thinking or who would like to join the field service engineer in the marine field to do it. I'm 100 happy about doing it. And if I mean, if someone also wants to ask or something in the comments, I will also be here to answer if you have some questions.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Arturo. Actually, when I was listening to you saying this, I could see your passion for your field, and it makes a whole difference when someone is working a job that they love, and it shows.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Arturo, once again, and thank you for sharing your views, your experience with me today. It has been a pleasure. And thanks again, dear viewers and listeners, for your interest in our discussion. What did you think of our talk today with Arturo? If you have, as he mentioned, if you have any questions about this kind of career, please don't hesitate to mention them in the comments, and Arturo is willing to answer. I hope you enjoyed our talk today. We'll see you next time.